Hello, my name is Jeremiah Green. I'm Assistant County Ranger here in Wilkes County with the North Carolina Forest Service. Started this career path in 1997 as a pickup firefighter, and that's a volunteer firefighter for the North Carolina Forest Service here in Wilkes County on our fast team, and realized that I enjoyed it. And from there, I became a temporary employee as a heavy equipment operator's helper and spent 2 years training prior to receiving a permanent position in the central part of the state, Hillsborough, Chapel Hill area, where I was actually in a heavy equipment operator. The job title is Forest Fire Equipment Operator. And in that, I pushed fire lines and plowed fire lines on wildfires and for control burns. Did mechanic work and spent 18 years at that, and had the opportunity to move back here to Wilkes, my home county, as an assistant county ranger, and took that opportunity. My tools of the trade previous to this position is, in a lot of people's eyes, more fun than these tools. This is a big bulldozer. You get to ride around on it and push stuff down. But now that the job has changed for me, I get to do a whole lot of manual labor. And as you see, I have a chainsaw here, a drip torch, my fire pack, helmet, shirt. I wear fire pants every day, year round. And our primary job for the state of North Carolina is fire control. But probably 80% of our job is doing forest management work or giving advice on forest management work. Use an increment board to determine the age of a tree, or a logger's tape to find the diameter of the tree, or get our exact pacing down to measure a tree's total height. This type of work is actually learned in a 2-year or 4-year degree college education, neither of which I have. As I stated, I started out as a helper. I have a high school education from North Wilkes High School, and my intentions when I graduated high school was to go in the military and come out and be some type of law enforcement. My ambitions was a state trooper. Met a woman that is now my wife, and I decided that the military wasn't for me. So my career path changed quickly. It was for the best. My least favorite part of the job would actually be being on call. I have 1 week, every 3rd week, I'm on call 24 hours a day and have to wear a pager, which I wear the pager all the time. But if I'm on call, I may be called out to a fire in the middle of the night. Possibly have been on fires all day long, just got in the bed, got to sleep good, and the pager goes off and it's time to go. That, coupled with irate landowners at times that think that I'm there to enforce some kind of absurd law or rule on them, can be very discouraging. But there is those times where people come to you after the fire's over and are very grateful, and that is a very rewarding time. Granted, when they come out and they're threatening you, or they have something in their hand that they're threatening you with, it can be a little scary at times. You just have to take it as it rolls. There's all kinds. I enjoy my job. It is a very rewarding job. Even our daily, day-to-day stuff, just assisting landowners here in Wilkes County and other parts of the state with forest management needs, or guidance on what to do, and spending time with co-workers on fires. It is a demanding job when it comes to the firefighting. It's not like a structural firefighter where you're fighting a house fire and it's right there in front of you. Forest fire may be 1 acre, it may be 100,000 or 1 million. This past summer, I spent 3 months in California on one of the largest wildfires in California history. It actually was the largest. Met people from all over the United States, Australia, Canada, that they do the same thing as I do. Some of them, their job is strictly fire. They have other jobs in the off season that where they work. They don't fight fire year round. With being in the position I'm in now, I've been on fires of all different scales in multiple states and multiple locations in North Carolina. As I said, I started in Wilkes, moved to the central part of the state, and been on multiple fires on the coastal plain in North Carolina. The education that they prefer for the job that I'm in now is a minimum 2-year degree at a accredited forestry technical school. There's only 2 of those in North Carolina at this time, Montgomery Community College and Haywood Community College. And in those, you learn the forestry technical side of things, measurements and how to identify trees, the different types of vegetation that is in the forest. You also learn logging techniques, firefighting, a multitude of other things in those schools. And then the other is a 4-year degree, and the only school in North Carolina that has a 4-year forestry degree is NC State. I know that Virginia Tech, Clemson, both have forestry degrees, and we have employees here in North Carolina that has degrees from both of those. The majority of folks that are from North Carolina, of course, went through NC State. There is benefits to the degrees. If I had it to do over, I would go to school before I started a career. So here I am. We do have on-the-job training. It's a 2-year program. They call it ranger training, but it's essentially a 2-year forestry degree without the degree. It's all the technical school training essentially comes in our 2-year in-house training also. And I did that. By doing that, and also by me being on the forestry team in high school at North FFA, I learned tree identification. Also learned how to measure trees, and a lot of the stuff that I use today I learned in high school with FFA. Granted, there was other stuff that I had to learn to go with it, but a lot of it did come from that. And growing up in a rural county, cutting firewood, I learned my trees at a young age. So that helped me out then and now. The rewarding part of our job is to be able to assist people go to a fire, and am able to either assist the local fire departments, or we bring in teams for a large scale fire and protect structures, keep people's homes from burning. That is very rewarding. So if we're able to save one house, that's a reward to me. And as I said, just being able to assist a landowner with a question about a sick tree or possibly an insect. And that's part of the training that you will go through if you decide a career path with the North Carolina Forest Service. You'll learn insects and disease, how to identify those, and what types of treatments is available to take care of those. The current job market in forestry There's, of course, with us, we have entry level, which is a assistant county ranger. They're open very frequently all across the state. The next step up would be county ranger, and 99.9% of the time you will have to have worked with us for a number of years to become a county ranger, and that's the supervisor of that county. The operator positions, forest fire equipment operator positions, are most of the time when somebody takes one of those positions, they stay in it till retirement. I didn't. I wanted to move back home, and I thought, I'm getting a little older, and I felt that it was time for a change. Granted, walking up and down the side of the mountain will also wear you out. But then you go on to the forester positions, and that is a 4-year degree, and there a number of those open at different times. They are highly competitive. Generally, when we have any position open, there will be a minimum of 40 to 50 applicants for each position, and sometimes over 100. People want to come to work with us. The one thing I can say about any of the jobs with the North Carolina Forest Service, they do not pay well. The reward of the job is what we're all here for. I enjoy what I do on a daily basis. If I didn't, I would find something else because the pay is not there. But as I was told at a young age, money's not everything. Happiness is worth more than money. But as far as a career, something that is enjoyable to do, and why it's so enjoyable to me is I am not an indoors person. I like to be outside. I enjoy being in the woods, seeing the different types of wildlife and the different plants that we have, and that's the reward of this job. There's the opportunity, if anyone is interested in doing an internship with us, come to the county office and let us know that you want to do an internship. You need to be 18 to be able to ride in a state vehicle. You could do a ride along for untold amount of time, whatever you decide and the county ranger decides, just to see what we do on a daily basis and get a good feel of what we do. As I said earlier, there's our local volunteer fire team. Any time that anyone would like to talk about what we do or would like to know more in depth in what we do, we're always willing to talk and meet with folks. But we would be happy to sit down with you if you do have any questions, or a phone call also.